Hey guys, S01E23 here. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon WTF Moments. If you don't know what WTF Moments is, just have a look at this very fancy fidget spinner. No help? Didn't think it would be. If you're a fan of WTF Moments already and you're ready for more, make sure you hit the like button. Let's aim for 1,000 likes if we can. Make sure you hit the like button if you're enjoying the videos, because it just makes sense. Of course, hit subscribe if you're new so you never miss a video. And of course, share this video with a friend. I'd appreciate that. But without further ado, let's have a look at the WTF Moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 23, The Tower of Terror. We find our heroes on the way to Lavender Town where they hope to catch a ghost-type Pokemon so that Ash has a chance to beat Sabrina, but fog rolls in. Brock suggests they all join hands so they can stay together in the dense fog, but nobody grabs Brock's hand. What a pair of arseholes Ash and Misty are. They look out for each other's safety, but not for Brock's, and it was his idea. Brock accidentally grabs Pikachu's tail and gets shocked in response, and Misty has a go at him for scaring her. Listen, love, it's your fault he was desperately trying to find both of you because you didn't wait for him. The least you could do is show a little bit of sympathy. Brock and Misty bail on Ash the moment they arrive at Lavender Town's Pokémon Tower. The theme of this entire episode seems to be how to be a terrible friend. Also, what's the point of walking all the way to Lavender Town with Ash, making sure he gets there safely, to then leave him in potential danger when you arrive? Terrible friends. Ash decides maybe it's probably better to wait till morning before going into Pokémon Tower, so decides to jump into his sleeping bag and go to sleep. Misty responds by banging a huge gong and waking him up. If you're not even going to go into the tower and help him, why does it matter what time he wakes up to do it? You're just being deliberately cruel now. Team Rocket are already in Pokemon Tower, but were behind Ash and his friends when they left Saffron City, not to mention they were paralyzed and being dragged along by Meowth, so how did they get in front of them? Meowth is absolutely petrified to see a Gastly in Pokemon Tower, a tower known for being the home of ghost-type Pokemon. Honestly, I really don't know what to tell you, mate. You really should be clued up about this stuff. Meowth tries to attack the Gastly and ends up scratching Jessie across the face, and it just leaves me thinking how good a job Pokemon always do of making Meowth scratches look really sore. Jessie hits Meowth with a frying pan and lands an epic trick shot off the walls and ceiling into the hole that James previously fell in. Meowth protests that it was only a scratch. Technically, Meowth, you do have 3 claws, which means you've actually left 3 scratches. Yeah, it's one of those episodes where I'm gonna have to be really pedantic. I'm sorry. I'm not. Ash and co hear the screams of Team Rocket coming from within Pokemon Tower, and you'd just leave, wouldn't you? I know Ash thinks he needs a ghost-type Pokemon, but if you heard random screaming coming from the only place you can get them, you'd start to question whether it was even worth it. Why is everyone even scared of Gastly anyway? Just looks like a really cheeky fella, probably quite fun to be around. To be honest, I'd be a lot more scared if it was a giant Onyx looking down at me. Those things would be terrifying in real life. Upon entering Pokemon Tower, Ash sends out Charmander to light up the room with its flamethrower, but Charmander yells the whole time, which must make it really difficult for people in the room to concentrate on anything. Brock finds a candle and asks Ash's Charmander to light it, so Charmander uses flamethrower and burns Brock to a crisp. What an arsehole! His tail literally has a flame on it. He could have just turned around and offered that to Brock so Brock could use the tail flame to light the candle. He didn't need to even use flamethrower. Dickhead. We see Haunter and Gengar enjoying some slapstick comedy, which consists of man picking up his wallet and knocking over the other man with his arse, man leaning on the bus stop sign and it twatting the other bloke as it falls over, the other bloke getting really angry and twatting the first bloke with the bus stop sign, and then the first guy having pop-out eyes for no reason. Honestly, at first, this didn't really make me laugh at all, but then after watching it a few times, especially with the really insane background music, it genuinely got a hearty chuckle out of me. Gastly returns to Haunter and Gengar, and they're all having such a good time together, they decide to randomly pose for no reason. Okay. All the lights suddenly turn on for Ash and co, and Brock says,
"It looks like some kind of fancy restaurant."
I mean, there's one big table and a huge fireplace. Looks more like a dining room to me, mate. All the food in the room starts levitating, but all I can think about is, oh mate, that gravy's gonna spill. Brock, mate, here's some advice for situations like this.
Plug your controller into controller port 2.
After fleeing the tower, Ash explains to everyone that they have to go back in because they can't catch a ghost-type Pokemon if they don't. When he asks Pikachu and Charmander if they agree, Charmander just uses Flamethrower on the group. Listen, Charmander, you little shit. Burning people alive is not a valid response to logical, rational thought. Ash convinces Charmander and Pikachu to go back into Pokémon Tower with him, and Misty and Brock once again elect to stay outside. This is what I'm saying. Terrible friends. Direct quote from Dexter. Ghost Pokémon are in a vapor form. Wait a minute. Vapor?
Far out, dude. Vape Nation.
Direct quote from Ash.
Pikachu, electric attack.
That's not an attack. It's just not. Not that anyone asked, but Jessie is not a Pokemon. Confirmed. Also, not that anyone asked, but you can use code ACE to save yourself some money on G Fuel. It's the sweetest nectar of my life. This is caffeine-free hydration, dragon fruit flavored G Fuel. Are you ready? Are you ready for the big sip? Are you ready for the big sip? Are you sitting down? Get ready for the big sip. Whoa, big sip. Code ACE. Get yourself some bloody money off. Direct quote from Ash.
Huh, I wonder if I captured it.
Well, did you hear the capture sound? No? Then no. Jessie's hair catches fire and Ash sees what appears to be a bomb from Final Fantasy VIII. Or any of the others, but 8's the one that matters the most. To me. Let me know your favourite Final Fantasy in the comments below. Direct quote from Dexter. Hunter, a gaseous Pokemon. No further information. What's the point of a portable encyclopedia of every creature on the planet if that's the kind of info it provides? Ash tells Charmander to use Leer on Haunter, and Haunter doesn't seem to react at all. You'd think if your defense was dropped by one stage, you'd have at least some kind of reaction.
Well, actually, Liam, I'm fairly sure Charmander didn't actually use Leer, since it just ended up pulling a silly face instead.
I was wondering when you'd show up, but yeah, either Charmander didn't know how to use the move, or the move just wasn't effective. Either way, an explanation would have been nice. Ash gets frustrated and returns Charmander to its Pokeball, and I can't say I blame him. Charmander's been a right mess all episode. Direct quote from Ash upon seeing Gengar.
There are more of these?
What, ghost-type Pokemon? Well, of course there are. That's why there's a whole type associated with them. Direct quote from Dexter. Gengar. No information available. Seriously, what's the point of the Pokedex at this point? It's friggin' useless. Ash turns around to find Gengar twatting Haunter over the head and them both having a good giggle. Ash says that they're weird and they both look mortified. They're basically like that one kid at school who you saw getting bullied, and even though you were getting bullied yourself, you still looked at them like, yeah, I get it. Ash at this point is basically me talking to a troll in a live stream.
Are you guys trying to be funny? Your routine really isn't working for me.
Gengar and Haunter sink through the floor, and while trying to stop them, Ash hits the floor hard, and then he and Pikachu are both crushed by a falling chandelier.
Liam, are you sure it wasn't a chandelier?
This is Gen 1. So yes, I am sure. Leave the jokes to me, yeah? Whilst Gastly and Gengar look solemn, Haunter just laughs and then pulls Ash and Pikachu's souls from their body, because apparently Haunter has zero chill. Ash does the exact same thing I think everybody does when they realize that they're dead. He rushes over to go and fuck with his friends' minds. After the way they've treated him today, they definitely had this coming. Having said that, he then grabs Misty and carries her up into the air. Look, I'm all for pranks, but ones that endanger people's lives? No thanks. You're meant to be Ash Ketchum, not Sam Pepper. He literally just says,
Okay, ride's over.
and fucking drops her. Like, not even by accident. You've been a ghost for all of a minute and now you're trying to kill off your friends? Oh look, it's the old trope of I've had these powers for a short space of time and yet I've already mastered flying. You can tell having access to the internet for a couple of decades has completely rotted your brain when you see Ash pass through Haunter like this and you think, I bet someone's got a fetish for stuff like that. Oh look, the ghosts have an entire playroom for no reason. Now they're cute and relatable because I'm 10 and I like to play with toys too, is probably what they expected 10-year-old me to think watching this. But actually I thought, where does all their money come from? Whenever someone asks how Gastly can use Thunder Punch, Fire Punch or Ice Punch, show them this. Gastly's gas can act like a fist, so it's able to grip the ropes of the swing. So therefore it surely should be able to make its gas into a fist, which it then uses for those punching moves. Then again, in Gen 1 it can't learn those moves yet, so this is irrelevant. Ash realizes the ghost type Pokemon just wanted someone to play with and understands how they must have been bored for such a long time. I don't understand. They could have left the tower at any time, like they did when they went flying with Ash. Doesn't make any sense. It turns out Brock and Misty found Ash and Pikachu's bodies and dragged them out from under the chandelier. However, that is not the recovery position. If Ash does wake up and he vomits or he coughs up blood, he's gonna choke on it and just die again. Terrible friends.
Oh my god, Misty was crying when she thought Ash was dead and now she's crying with happiness because he's alive, so she must be in love with him.
He's her friend. People generally get quite emotional when they find their friend dead in front of them, and probably even more so if they see their friend miraculously come back to life. What I'm saying here is, you're reaching, shippers. Sit down. Direct quotes from Misty and Ash.
But Ash, what about the ghost-type Pokemon?
Oh, it's impossible to catch them.
Well, no. It isn't. So it turns out Haunter wants to come along with Ash because they had so much fun together. Which is why I don't get how he and Gastly and Gengar were so bored. They weren't bound to the tower, so they could have gone out and made new friends at any time. Listen, I don't care how bored you are or how cutesy you try and act. This right here is kidnapping, and that is very illegal. Although in this situation, what would the police do? They can't give him the death penalty. Wait a minute. Gengar's got white eyes. Run out of red ink, lads. So now Ash finally has a ghost-type Pokemon he'll be able to use against Sabrina's Kadabra, which, as we said in the previous episode, technically puts him at a disadvantage, but sure, why not? So tune in next time to see if Ash will actually win a Marsh badge, or will he do his usual trick of weaseling his way into just being given one anyway. So those are my WTF moments for Pokemon Season 1, Episode 23, The Tower of Terror. Let me know your favorite down below, or if you think I missed any. Hit the like button if you enjoyed, hit subscribe if you're new, share this video with a friend. If you'd like to support the channel like these lovely people down here do, pledge to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/AceTrainLiam and save money on G Fuel and Control Freak products. Use code ACE. But until next time, I'm Ace Trainer Liam. Keep on training.